Hey, hello, how are you doing today, guys? Thanks for clicking on my video. And today we're going to go over how cults are very similar in their characteristics as MLMs. So let's get into it. So I've seen a lot of YouTubers kind of cover this general topic, but I wanted to go a little deeper today and go over a few very specific characteristics that have been proven by research to show concepts and what in these characteristics to help identify cults and cult-like behavior and kind of quantify that for us as the public. So we're going to look at 3 different topics and equate that to what we see in MLMs every single day that makes us want to throw ourselves through a wall. So let's get into it. So the first topic is the fact that a lot of these members of the organizations have a very highly committed viewpoint and behavior towards their leader or leaders. It's one of the biggest ideas when it comes to a cult is their figurehead is almost a deity like to them. So take this in an MLM. You have your upline, right? This upline can almost do no wrong to them. They are the silhouette of what you want to be as an individual. You want to be a successful entrepreneur, and instead of taking the ideas and the successes of the successful entrepreneurs around you, you're looking at the figure of one or a handful of individuals at the top of the company, yes, company, and trying to replicate yourself after that person. You are reading all the same books, you're watching all the same shows, you're watching all of their propaganda, and I have watched a lot of it. It's propaganda. You can see them and they just want the same exact life as that person. They want to have the same exact ideas of that person, and they get this very intense sense of anger and hostility anytime the ideas or the integrity of their leader is questioned. So earlier this year, a few YouTubers, a really big one, Kiki Chanel, you've probably seen her stuff, made a video about an Arbonne rep who is, I think, the second to top level of Arbonne. She is actually part of my upline. She was my great grandma direct up my upline in Arbonne. And if that doesn't make sense, basically your upline goes into tiers, and sometimes people equate that to a family. So the person who signed you up has a person who signed them up, and that would be your grandma upline, and so on and so forth. So she was my great grandma upline directly. So anyway, I was still in Arbonne technically when that happened, and you should have seen the reaction. It was beyond this idea of, wow, I don't want to see you talking bad about somebody that I care about, and went right into this idea of someone was trying to tear their world apart somehow by making a video about some ridiculous concepts that this person that they idolize made. It was a very unhealthy, very almost obsessive reaction that came from people, and I wish I still had some screenshots about it because good Lord, it was insane. And I actually shared the video. I think just on my Facebook that I don't even really use Facebook that much. But I shared it on my Facebook mostly because I have a lot of closer family and friends who do MLM, and I wanted them to see it, but everybody tried to end me over that. Yeah, there's just this very unhealthy sense of idolizing your upline in MLMs, and it's very similar to what we see on how members of organizations that are very cult-like will do with their leaders as well. So the second part we're going to go over today is the fact that questioning and doubt are very negatively viewed or even punished. And I mean, we'll see that in cults. They'll be ostracized. They could even be kicked out of the cult. In some extreme cases, they may be physically punished. We see these same ideas, maybe minus corporal punishment, in MLMs. Any little seed of doubt or what they will call negativity is greatly admonished, completely unacceptable in their little world. It is tearing people down. It's trying to tear down your upline, trying to tear down the other people within the MLM, within the friend groups. You're bringing them down. You're preventing them from success in their businesses because of your negativity. And because of this, they may shut you out. They may refuse to interact with you, which shows not only a sense of refusing to see potential flaws, which prevents any type of growth or understanding of your own downfalls, and it also shows a sense of manipulation from those who are on top, because they don't want those little seeds of doubt being placed into their downlines' heads, because once that little seed of doubt is placed, they may have their eyes opened to bigger problems, more systemic problems, and at that point they're going to be more likely to leave. And the thing is the base of that pyramid is the source of income for everybody. They are the customers, they are the income, they are the voice, and if they leave, then the top not only loses all their money, but they lose their credibility, and that will once again place those little seeds of doubt into other people's heads when they see a mass movement of change. And fingers crossed, that is our goal right now as the anti-MLM community. But besides the point, that is their goal. They want no negativity, no room for flaw. They have to be in a perfect bubble to make sure that everyone stays in their place. So the third aspect that I wanted to cover was this sense of an us versus them mentality. And obviously this is the epitome of a cult. Something most people would understand is they see themselves as a separate sect of society, and maybe they see themselves as better than, maybe they see themselves as enlightened, and because of that, they are a completely different group away from the rest of society. 100% the same thing that happens in an MLM. So they see themselves as the people who have stopped the brainwashing of society. They have thought for themselves. They are not going to be controlled by a boss. They are not going to be controlled by anybody else's schedule, their demands, their lives. It is all about them over there, separated from the 9-to-5 grind, from the daily work, from the normal runnings of society. They believe that we are all in the cult of society, whereas they're enlightened and they have to separate themselves from us so they don't get tainted by our viewpoints and our negativity, as I kind of spoke about a moment ago. But they think that they need to be completely separated from everybody else for the good of their own businesses, and just because that they're not like us. They don't believe the same things that we do, which is not always a bad thing. Of course, that's how we grow as a society, is to have new ideas and new processes and whatnot. But the way that they take it and they run with it is completely unhealthy. And they basically segregate themselves from everybody else. And they may do that for a number of reasons. It may be because they don't want to be involved in our line of thinking. They don't want to be tainted by our negativity, as I spoke about a moment ago. They may not believe that we are enlightened in the way that they are, and they may not use that term, but they'll say, oh, our eyes have been opened, or we've seen the way that other people can run their own lives and not be held down by the man, whatnot. But there are a lot of reasons why they see themselves as a different group, a different sect of people, and they're over there living their MLM life separate from the rest of the nation, the world, the community, and we're over here being brainwashed and manipulated from a young age because they refuse to share that stuff in school, right? So that's the problem that a lot of people have with that. All right, so my fourth and my last topic of this video is the fact that, wait for it, they're always obsessed with bringing in new members. What? So this one kind of speaks for itself. That is literally all they do. That is the number one goal, bring in new members. And that's pretty much the same thing for both MLMs and cults. Their number one goal is their quantity of people. And I'm going to speak on both here. So for both, new members means new money, more money. And the more people you can bring in, the more amount of people they can bring in, which means that much more money, because that is the number one goal of both. And it may not seem like that on the surface. Maybe cults seem to have religious bases, but in all reality, what they want is either money or notoriety, fame, control, but most of them want money. Again, the more people you have, the more of a voice you have. So, you know, if you have 50 people speaking for your organization about how amazing you are, you're not going to have as much traction as you are if you have 5,000 people speaking for you or 50,000 people speaking for you. So that's another reason why they're going to want as big of a crowd as possible, because yeah, that gets you more money, but how many people are you really going to get to agree with you and to follow you if your following is so small? So yeah, that's just a couple of reasons why you are going to want more and more people to join your cult or your MLM, but the second is the first. So let's just be real about it. So that's going to about wrap it up for this video. There's some reasons why MLMs are so comparable to cults in their tendencies and their characteristics. So I hope you guys got something from that content. If you did, please consider subscribing. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Do you think that they're similar? Do you think that that's just a coincidence? It's being blown out of proportion? I always like to hear what you guys have to say. So just let me know down below. Maybe give me a like and a dislike. That works too. Still puts me in the algorithm. So I appreciate both. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good day. I'll have a part 2 out soon. And I think I have in the works a pretty cool non-anti-MLM video coming out too. So hopefully that one will be fun and you'll enjoy that too. So have a good day, guys. Bye.